Oh, there we go. Shall I pour it straight away?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What? Hang on a minute. Why is that bottle nearly... Well, now, why is it now empty? I've not drank a bottle of wine.
Yeah, you have.
No, not tonight. I've
No,
not.
I'm joking.
When did you got that out of the cupboard?
Yeah.
Oh. I just don't remember, that's all.
Yeah, a few days
Or was
ago.
it our mum's? No, is this the bottle that our mum's left?
No,
No.
because we started having some in bed the other night.
Oh.
And then neither of us drank our glasses of
Yeah,
wine.
no, and we fell asleep. Yeah.
Anyway.
You always think wine in bed's like, oh yes, I take a glass of wine to bed. We don't fall asleep.
Yeah, I think I had 2 sips and I was like, I can't stay up and drink this. I'm so tired. Yeah, welcome to episode 13 version 2. So we recorded episode 13 with our mums in Cornwall after probably day drinking.
No, it was. It was after it was after day drinking, after the picnic, and then after more drinks, and then it was really late at night.
Yeah.
So we've been drinking for about 8 hours.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
I think episode 13 version 1 has got a lot of things in it that, you know, we will release, but we've got to edit it and stuff.
Yes, we do indeed.
Have to heavily edit it. But anyway, let's go on to this episode, which we will call episode 13 version 2 because it'll be released before...
At some point, won't it?
Yeah, this one will be released before the Mums podcast.
Yeah, this one will come out before our...
yeah.
Because we did interviews with our mums. We interviewed
Yeah.
our mums, if you remember, Jamie.
Yeah, we did. All right. Fucking hell.
No, we did. We did interview our mums. I did considerably more interviewing of the mums than Jamie did. Sorry, I'm just winding her up.
Excellent.
But yeah, no, it was amazing. I really enjoyed doing that. I would love to interview them frequently, actually.
I think we should do another one interviewing them, yeah.
Yeah, we did say, actually. So the next day, while we were all recovering from the night before, we were like, oh yeah, we should do another one the next night, and we were knackered.
Yeah, we said we were just going to re-record it, but we were just all fucked because we'd had like this really bad hangover, and then we
Gone out
literally
all day.
walked miles and miles up and down cliffs in Cornwall.
Yeah, we did. With a hangover, all 4 of us.
Me and your mum were the worst.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, me and your mum were dead well behaved.
Yeah, me and your mum were like, oh my god.
It was dead funny. We woke up the next morning. I said to your mum, "Are you all right?" And she was like, "Yeah, I stopped drinking." I was like, "Yeah, so did I."
Yeah, you and my mum had coffees and juice. Me and your mum were like, another one, Deb.
I know. That's so shit. Fucking hell.
Home measures whilst we were drunk. Oh,
Don't even.
God.
Yeah, no.
Then we were singing Mamma Mia to each other.
I've got that on video.
Excellent.
Oh.
Moving swiftly on.
Indeed.
This episode is about us house hunting.
Yeah.
We unexpectedly have found ourselves in a situation where we have got to move.
Yeah.
During an economic
crisis and a pandemic.
Yeah.
And now the government's decided you can only see 6 people, which is going to be fucking difficult considering that we're now going to have to move house.
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't really planning on moving house, were we, babe? Well, we were, but not yet.
No.
And
I'll tell you for why.
I'll tell you for why.
So we've been trying to sort of save up to get a deposit together ready for a house, maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But the other day, Jess went out to the hair salon, and I was sort of just in bed, like I don't wear any clothes in bed. And then Castro started barking. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, Jess has ordered like something from Amazon again, and now I've got to get up and put clothes on and go and get whatever she's ordered from Amazon. Thinking that, you know, there was something on the doorstep.
Delivery.
So I put clothes on, and then I heard the fucking door open. Bearing in mind, our door is one that locks when you close it.
Yeah.
So
it's locked.
Somebody
the door was
can't
locked.
just walk in unless they've got a key.
Yeah.
And then I heard someone was like going, shh, come on, shh. And I was like, what the fuck? And I like crept downstairs, and it was our landlord.
Yeah, he broke in.
Yeah, who assumed that because your car wasn't there, that we'd gone out.
Yeah, and he'd like, there's no way around it, is there, Jamie? He waited until he thought we weren't in the house.
Yeah.
And then he legally entered our house.
Yeah.
And he was watching until our car was gone. And he must have thought that Jamie was in the car as well. And then that we'd both left to go somewhere. But what actually happened was I left to go somewhere and left you in bed.
Yeah.
Because it was quite early still.
Yeah. Just for those who don't know, I don't think any of you all know, our landlord is actually, so we have to be a bit quiet on this one, is our next door neighbour.
Which hasn't been bad.
No,
we haven't had any problems in over a year
that we know of.
Well, this leads us to the problem, doesn't it? Because we don't know how many times he's broken in.
Yeah.
And the dog has been behaving strangely for months.
Yeah, and like we've had to have a word with him before because he's said, "Oh, I'll just come in while you're out to look at this issue."
And we're like, no,
don't, because of the dog,
and also because it's our house.
Yeah,
and we pay a considerable amount of money to live here, and I don't want nobody wants that, do they? Like, everybody listening that's in rented accommodation, you know that, like, you know, if someone was going to come in your house, you would at least, well, I don't know, to tidy up, check your shit. You'd want to know who was coming in, when they were coming in. You'd want to be there. Yeah, and it crossed a massive line with me and you, didn't it?
Well,
that he just came into the house, and then
like I was
obviously
naked.
Jamie's upstairs, got no clothes on, in bed, and then there's this man in our house.
Yeah, like luckily I managed to shove some clothes on like so quick. And I came downstairs, and he was like, "Oh, I just wanted to check your plumbing before I let the plumber in." I was like, and I was really scared at that point, so I didn't make an issue out of it.
No,
because if I made an issue out of it, like I was on my own.
Yeah, I know, babe. I know.
So, yeah, you know, we didn't make an issue out of it anyway.
Till later.
Yeah,
because we did confront him. We had him round here.
Yeah, we did confront him, and he apologised. But during the time that he was here, obviously that means that I didn't get to
clean the house or check any rooms.
And I went into the bathroom because he came up straight, went into the toilet, which was because we've been having a couple of issues with our plumbing. And I was like, oh shit! I swear there was some sex toys in there. Anyway. I found a vibrator and I was like, oh, maybe Jess already moved the dildo and the strap-on knickers. Right, and I was like, okay, she must have just left the vibe in there. And I thought, well, you know, the vibe doesn't look too much like a vibe.
No, it doesn't.
Hopefully he just thought it was like, I don't know, like a face massager or something. I don't know. And then after he left, I went and got in the shower. And I put what I was wearing into the laundry basket in the bathroom, and I found our dildo and our strap-on knickers.
Oh,
right,
God!
And I thought that's weird. Jess doesn't usually put our dildos in the wash
why
basket.
Would I ever do that
with the knickers like attached to it? Like, that's weird. Got out of the shower, texted her, and I just put, Jess, you didn't, because I said to Jess, oh, the landlord's just been round. I didn't want to alarm you, so I didn't tell you at that point that he'd broken in.
No, you didn't. No, I know you didn't.
Because I didn't want to alarm you.
No.
And I said, Jess, did you put the strap and the dildo like in the wash basket? And you just put, what the fuck?
Yeah, because
you'd clocked onto the fact that you hadn't put
no, it was in the sink.
You hadn't put the dildo in the wash basket, and I hadn't obviously put the dildo in the wash basket.
Oh my God, it's so embarrassing.
And we were just like, what the fuck? So not only has the landlord broken in whilst I was naked upstairs in bed and Jess was out, but he went into the bathroom and saw a dildo in the sink. Like, you can't mistake it as anything else. It was a fucking dildo.
It was attached to the strap.
It was attached to the knickers. That's like
strap.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and then he thought the best thing to do is to hold it
and then to pick it up and put it in the laundry
basket.
What the fuck?
So I was just like, oh my fucking God.
It was so embarrassing. I was in the hair salon and I had full like silver toner on my hair and it had just been bleached, and I was just like sat there dying. Like, the people around me must have thought something really, really serious happened, like a family member had died or something.
It was me.
Because I was going like, oh my god, this is awful. I was like, oh my god, this is terrible. And like, I was like, just so mortified. And it was just Jamie on the other end. You rang me in the end. It was like you were on the other end of the phone whilst I had the toner on, because I was like trying to listen and not get toner on my phone.
Yeah.
But
I hadn't even told you that he'd broken.
No, I know you didn't. No, all I knew that you said that he'd been in about the plumbing and that he'd moved our shit, and like I was just absolutely mortified. I just couldn't get over why you would do that.
Why would you touch it?
Yeah. Like I just don't even know why you would do that.
Not only had he broken in and like come in unexpectedly, like we could have been shagging, but also he would have been like, "Oh, do you want to just like make sure your bathroom's all right for me to go in?"
Oh no, yeah.
When he'd seen a fucking dildo.
But like they sell private fucking place, like. Yeah, anyway, so we have got to the end of our tether with being here, and it forced us to have a very serious conversation about things like security, about our privacy, about our lives, and about the fact that we don't know if he's done this before, we don't know if he's going to do it again, we don't know if he's done it today when we've been out. Like, it's that serious.
Yeah.
And how do you know?
It's not like we don't have security issues already.
Yeah, no,
like,
exactly. So this is not a joke. This is not something that we can now settle with. So it means that we reluctantly went and got financial advice and spoke to a guy that I know well, who's a excellent mortgage broker and
who managed to get us a
mortgage in a few days. Like he's like, I don't know. Honestly, that man is just.
He's amazing. Like, at the end of the day, he's saved our fucking asses, because I don't want to spend any more time here. And the issue that we've got is that we've got a dog, so we can't go and rent somewhere else.
No, I know, yeah. Because the first thing we did, actually, wasn't it? The first thing we did was think we're going to have to rent somewhere else for a bit whilst we save up for a mortgage. And, you know, the first thing we did was look at that, and it was just no pets. And we were just like, oh, fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Because even getting Castro into this house was not easy. We had to pay them a load of money on top of the deposit. And then we had to, like, even though it said in the contract, pets allowed by agreement, they then used that essentially to like exploit us for some more money.
Yeah.
Which was a significant amount of money, claiming that they needed further deposits because of the dog and just saying that dogs damage gardens. I fucking like to see Castro damage anything, frankly. But that anyway. So we have been house hunting this week, which has given us some very interesting stories that we're going to share with you whilst we're drinking.
Yeah, I think we've needed this drink. Okay.
I've had a headache, by the way, for 4 fucking days. Day in, day out. I wake up with a headache. I go to bed with a headache. I wake up again with a headache.
I've literally been massaging your neck and head every night for hours whilst you fall asleep and after you've fallen asleep.
It's been awful. Honestly, I'll do anything for this headache to go away at this point. I think it's stress of everything that's been going on.
I've recommended a glass of wine and a podcast.
Yeah, I know.
It's counselling. It's like free counselling. Well, the price of a bottle of jam shed.
Yeah, Jamie's told me that I have to have a drink and relax and see if I can feel a bit better. So
yeah. Okay, so our first issues whilst looking for houses, right?
The first issues while looking for houses, I would say the most basic ones is that they're always expecting a woman and a man to turn up. Yeah. They're so confused when 2 young women turn up to look at a house.
Well, no, before that is when we phone up and they're like, I say, hi, I'd like to, like, I phoned up for the first few viewings and I was like, I'd like to inquire about viewing this property, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, is it just yourself? I'm like, no, it's me and my partner. I'm like, okay, and what's his name? What's your husband's name? And I'm like, oh, it's a woman. Oh, and they're like, oh, is it Mrs.? And I'm like, no, it's Doctor.
Yeah, so there's the assumption.
There's so many different things.
So then we've had some viewings through under Miss and Miss. We've had viewings through where they've expected a bloke. We've also had them where they've definitely expected older women to turn up. Yeah. And then there's like that woman who showed us around that house who kept calling us girls.
Yes, she kept calling us girls, didn't she?
She's like, what do you girls want with this house? Like,
But it's the way she's like, what do you girls want with a property this big? And it was not big.
No, it wasn't at all. I thought to myself, God, what would you rather us do? Live in a shed? It's not that big. It just does. Anyway, so the first one is like, I would say, if you're going to talk about issues, I would say assumptions.
Yeah.
Because people definitely do have, like, so there's I wouldn't say it was overt homophobia. I don't think we've come up against homophobia. I think what we've come up against is just stereotypes.
Yeah.
Where people are just a little bit taken aback.
Yeah, but also, like...
But it's not just that, it's classism, ageism and sexism.
Definitely.
It's a mixture of things.
But
people are very confused by us two getting a house.
Yeah, and I actually think that the amount of... So we've been to see quite a few properties now, and one of them we thought we were in love with.
And we were in love with it.
Of the pictures.
Yeah, the pictures that were bullshit, by the way.
But we had to have a really serious conversation where we had to think, should we pretend that we're not gay?
Yeah, that's been hard. So, like, we've been having to have, like, these strategic conversations about, do we turn up and be a couple? Do we turn up and say we're sisters? Do we turn up and say we're best mates? But it's not plausible. No. Like, why are two young female best mates buying a fucking house and living together? And then we thought to ourselves, what happens if they find out during the paperwork stage that we're actually partners? Yeah. And then it's the same with when we said, oh, well, why don't we just say we're family members or sisters? Well, because there's also the potential there for them to find out during the paperwork stage. So if you're going to deal with homophobia, I guess there's a sort of argument for dealing with it head on. Yeah, but also, with that said, the reason why we haven't is because our landlords, they're just pretending that we're not gay and that we're not together. I know, they've been doing well. I put that tweet up, didn't I, being like, congratulations to everyone on our street who've successfully pretended that we're not gay for a whole year. Yeah. Which is incredible. They're just all burying their head in the sand. And like when we mentioned the other week to the landlord, we were like, because we've had plumbers come in before who have been quite homophobic, and we said, you can't let people into our house, especially when we're not there and we don't know. We've come across homophobia from people you've come in before, and just sort of laughed. He was like, what do you mean? And then just quickly moved on. Yeah. So it's something that I honestly didn't think that would come up. Maybe because we've rushed into it, because we are a bit doing this on the hop, aren't we? I mean homophobia. I think it's naive for me to assume that we wouldn't get homophobia. I guess partially it's because you consider that if you're a customer making a big purchase, you shouldn't really be judged in that sort of way. But to be honest with you, I get it for all sorts of reasons. Anyway, you get judged for like your job, how much money you earn, why you can afford to buy a property, how. They really do want the ins and outs of your fucking mum, don't they? Yeah, literally. It's fucking, like, honestly, sometimes I feel like turning up with a bank statement. But that's not even on that can often happen when you're just speaking to the estate agents. Oh, I know. Like that, I was getting that all on the phone. And then probably one of the biggest issues that has just wasted our fucking time over and over again is how deceiving the photos are. They advertise a house as like 4 bedrooms, and like we've got 2 boys, we both run businesses from home, and we spend a lot of time working in our house and chilling in our house. Yeah, I'm not about to, try and get a house that says 4 bedrooms, but one of the bedrooms you can't even get a fucking bed in it. So we went to that house, and I went in it, and honestly, you couldn't get a single bed in it. Yeah, so that reminds me, do you remember, like, when I was looking for a house, when I was... Sorry, I just spilled a bit of wine. Do you remember when I was looking for a house, like, last year, and I went and and they took me into a room when me and you first got together. Yeah. And they took me into a room, and they were like, "This is the like 2nd bedroom or 3rd bedroom." And I just took one look at the estate agent, and I was like, "You can't fit a bed in here. This isn't a bedroom." She was like, "It is. You can fit one of those." Like she was like, "One of those miniature beds in here." I was like, "What, a cot?" And I said to her, have you measured this room correctly? And she was like, yes. And I was like, because I'm pretty certain that if you put a bed in here, the door wouldn't open or shut. And she was like, no, I think you can just about fit a bed in here. I was like, okay. I was like, and then what else? Like, for example, storage or a wardrobe or a bedside table.
Lamp.
Yeah. And she was like, I remember her sort of looking around the room being like, I'm thinking, you fucking know.
But like, why are they wasting not only our time but their own time?
It is a massive waste of time. So like, me and you have like looked at things and thought, wow, that looks brilliant. And then you base your decisions to view and to like drive fucking 50 miles or 60 miles, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you look at it and you think, what the fuck? How have they taken these photos? Like, all of a sudden, like, this house that looked really spacious, and you're stood in front of it thinking, what the fuck? This can't be the same house.
Sorry, I just want to point out, I didn't fart. I moved my foot across the sofa just then. Yeah, so like the wide angle lens. So your friend was like, house hunting is like Tinder. They look nothing like the fucking pictures. Yeah. Wide angle lenses are like filters
on Tinder. Yeah. It's so fucking true. Like, everything's so deceiving. We went and viewed. So the first, like, I was just thinking about those houses. So we've had such like bad experiences. It's so been tired.
Awful.
This is why I've had a headache for just like 4 days. It's just tomorrow will be the 5th day I've had a headache, and it's just stress. I think. I don't think it's anything serious. I don't think I'm ill, but like,
no, I don't think you're ill.
The first house we went to view was a renovated old schoolhouse, wasn't it? You know which one I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. And it was
advertised.
Oh my God. The photos that they took were so cleverly positioned that they omitted the fact that it's built on a graveyard.
Right, no. Can we just go back? It's advertised as having garden and parking.
Sorry. Yeah.
Right? It's roadside parking.
And it has no garden.
And it has a patio.
Its garden is dead people.
Oh, yeah. It's on a fucking graveyard.
So if you want to class the graveyard as a garden, then yes, you have a very, very large garden.
Right, put it this way. Not only is the house really small, right?
Yeah.
But if you sit at your dining room table,
you can
look
read
3 feet away and see and read the gravestone of an 8-year-old's grave.
I know, yeah. Jamie was like, what did you think of that room? I was like, did you know a 30-year-old died?
Next to an 8-year-old?
Yeah, next to an 8-year-old, which was next to the dining room window. And I'm not even talking a bit far away. I'm talking I could probably have touched it through the dining room
for sure.
window.
You've definitely got it. It was, honestly, right. And then we said, oh, how... So we were thinking, like, the parking situation must be shit, because it was right next to a church. Beautiful church.
Oh, God, yeah. Gorgeous area in this little village.
Gorgeous.
Stunning church. But, like I said to you, imagine how shit that parking will be when there's weddings and funerals all the fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then like recitals and like events and things like that.
Yeah.
What full fucking well people are going to turn up with like 400 cars.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to be able to get into your own house for 6 hours.
Yeah. So we were sort of thinking like, and we said, and Jess said to him, oh, how long have you lived here? And we were expecting that they've grown up there because they've got like four teenagers. And they were like, oh, about 2.5 years. And we were like, oh, all right, how come you're moving so quickly? And they have 4 teenagers, probably between the ages of about 12, maybe 13.
Up to about, I think it was like 18. 19.
Yeah.
And then they had a dog the size of horse.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, and he just sweat a little bit. Just downsizing. I was like, fuck off, you downsizing. Either the parking is an issue or it's haunted.
Yeah.
And true. I'm going to go with the latter.
I know, yeah. He was probably sweating a bit and being like, downsizing, because behind him, or behind us, was a fucking ghost going like this. You fucking tell them. You're fucking downsizing. You fucking tell them about us.
Honestly, it was a beautiful, beautiful house.
Tell them it's haunted, I'll fuck you up.
And the windows were beautiful. Like, the windows were gorgeous. But honestly, there was graves everywhere.
There
was graves everywhere. Look out the window, there's graves. Go in your garden, there's graves.
Fuck it, there was no garden.
Right, but did you notice there was a graveyard next to it and also across the road?
There was more graves.
Which was only a one-car
Road.
wide road.
Yeah, it was like a little
more
track.
graves. Honestly, like, I don't know what the fuck they were doing, but it was awful. Also, do you remember how we kept pointing out all of the cracks in the windows? He's pretended that we didn't.
Yeah, we were pointing them out because I was saying like, "Oh, that window's smashed. Oh, that window's cracked, Jamie. Oh, look at that crack in that."
I went straight away. I was like pointing at that, and then you went a bit more obvious. You were like, "Oh, that window's cracked as well." And you just kept talking, and we were like,
Yeah.
"You're not going to distract us from the fact that your windows are cracked."
By zombies, probably.
Probably.
Honestly,
Okay.
some of the experiences we've
Nicholas
had this
Flamel.
week.
No, not Nicholas Flamel. Nearly had Miss Nick.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I watched that in Horrible Histories, I think.
I'm on about Harry Potter.
Oh, who am I mixing it up with?
Fuck knows.
I think I was thinking about something from like history that was actually real.
Right, well, this house had ghosts in it,
Right,
okay?
well, they've not got the ghosts of J.K. Rowling's imagination, have they?
Oh, I don't know.
They've got ghosts of the 30-year-old and the 8-year-old that are buried in the fucking garden.
Honestly, why else would you move from a house after 2.5 years, which had been on the market since, like,
Before
COVID?
stuff. They were generally really nice. He was really nice.
He was
wasn't
lovely,
he?
yeah. He looked
also,
a bit shifty, though.
Well, yeah,
He
wouldn't
was
you
probably
be?
scared that we were going to see a ghost.
Well, no.
He's like, ghosts, please.
I know, yeah. You'd be shifty and all if you were being followed around by a threatening ghost while you were showing people around your house. Anyway. Anyway. So yeah, that was the first.
Did he ask us what we did?
Yeah.
Right, but I remember we walked up to his house and he
didn't even realise. We
realise.
literally, in the middle of nowhere, walked up to his house, the two of us, at the exact time of the viewing, walked directly up to him and next to his gate, and he still had no idea why we were there.
Yeah.
Like, we just got, what we were doing, fucking selling cookies. It's
Selling
Ghostbusters, mate.
exorcisms.
We're the Ghostbusters. Fuck you, viewing.
He's like, fuck, I've got a viewing in a minute.
Come in, fucking hell. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Oh, and then what came next? Oh, the one with Anne.
Hey?
Anne. The woman who showed us round the farmhouse.
Oh shit. He kept calling us girls.
Yeah.
It's like, right then, girls, let's have a look around.
And then she kept being like, "I'm so nosy." Honestly, she was a straight up Peter Kay character from Phoenix Nights. Swear to fucking God. She was just like, she just kept like asking us really like personal questions and then caveating it with going, "I'm so nosy."
It's like, all right, love, we know that you just want to find out how we can afford this house.
And what? It's her first question. As we'd not been in there a couple of minutes, and we were just walking around going like, "It's quite nice. Yeah, you've done a good job on this renovation." And she was like, "Sorry, what do you two girls want with this house?" I'm just being nosy.
She was making out like it was a massive house, and it really fucking isn't.
And then like, just sort of looked at her and was like, I felt like being like, "Sorry, do you want to sell this house or not?" Like, do you know what I mean? Why are you asking? What on earth is wrong with you? Because this was the vendor, not the estate agent.
Yeah.
So this, like, we've had vendors showing us round, which has been a fucking
vendors.
barrel of laughs. We haven't even got to the worst fucking story yet, by far.
Oh god.
And so sorry, I can't even.
Sorry, I'm thinking about that.
I know,
guy.
so was I. That's why I was laughing.
Oh shit.
So like this woman, she just followed us around for like 20 minutes, asking us fucking questions, and then she started asking like, the normal, which is like, have you got all your finances sorted then? Like, yeah. What do you both do? I'm just being nosy. I'm just nosy. What do you both do then? Honestly, I feel like sometimes I might just go, nothing, don't do nothing. Don't spit your wine out. I might just go, fucking won it at the Mega Bingo.
We should just say, we're just claiming benefits for 6 imaginary kids. See what they fucking do.
I'll just go, when you're online and it says fill in this survey for $5, right? We've just been doing that for 10 years. It fucking works, you know. Just like I'm just gonna start making elaborate fucking stories. Because I'm getting fucking sick of stupid.
We fucking turned up to the house and instantly were like, that is not as big as it was fucking pictured. But I'm not sure if you like it and you're not sure if I like it, so we wouldn't piss around.
No, of course not. And then we like walk around, because sometimes even if something's not as big as pictured, it might be lovely. So we still spend the time sort of evaluating it and exploring whether it's something we would like or not. But then you have to deal with the fucking stupid questions. I actually said to Jamie in the car, that's it, we're making stupid question bingo.
Yeah.
We were driving back and I was like, we're going to make a bingo card of stupid fucking questions we keep getting asked when we're trying to view a house. So you're trying to focus and you're like trying to talk to each other like, that might need a bit of work. Oh, I wonder if
like,
that...
when was your roof last done?
Yeah, we're trying to have like serious conversations and they're asking stupid fucking questions.
Yeah.
And making stupid comments, and then they start telling you their life story.
Oh, they do.
Or the story
But
of the house.
I actually think that they are telling us other stories, like particularly that woman, to combat the fact that she was also being nosy. She was trying to create this atmosphere that we were friends, and she was being open. She was telling us about her, and we were telling her about us.
And then she was like, oh, I had another woman come and view it the other day. She was a woman, not a girl, for some reason. God knows why.
Oh, I know, yeah.
We were girls, she was a woman.
Well, we're in our 20s, aren't we?
And she was like, yeah, I had a woman come view the other day, and she was thinking about, running her eyelash business from here. And then she was asking me questions about eyelashes, like I would know the answer. I just looked at her and went, I don't know. And she was like, oh. I was like, oh my God. Anyway, so that was like an interesting experience, just walking around that one. And then we had this like favourite house, basically, the one where we were like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
The photos are amazing. The property is incredible. It was way under what you would expect for that property, like the price.
Yeah, the location was
amazing. Was perfect for us, and we were just like, oh my God, we are so lucky. It's been on the market months. We obviously expected there's some reason it's been on the market months, but there could be plenty of reasons for that, especially with COVID.
Yeah.
So I went to have a look at that one, and as we walked up to it,
can you remember the amount of fucking planning we did for that house? We were having to be so careful about, like...
We had probably, I would say, at least 4 conversations about, do we present us together? Do we do this? Do we do this? Then we even wrote a list of questions that we wanted to ask the vendor about the roof, the electrics, the boiler, all these different things about the land, about everything that was with it. Anyway, none of that was needed.
No, it definitely wasn't.
Because we went to walk up to the house and we knocked on the door. And
No,
we saw his wife first.
We saw his wife. His wife looked like she was crying. Yeah. And she was like, I'm just having a break, go and knock on the door and my husband will answer.
She was probably crying because her husband was a dickhead.
Or that they were selling the fucking house.
Because she wished she was selling her husband.
Honestly, she was lovely and he was just like...
I would have much rather her walk us round.
Anyway, let's start. So we walked up, and it's honestly, this property has so much potential, but... we don't have the money to do it up, and we don't have the time to do it up. And it's not pictured.
I don't think anybody has the money to do that up. And if you did have the money to do that up, go and buy a better house. Yeah. Because that shit is a money pit.
Oh, it really is. But, it is not how it's fucking pictured.
I'm sorry, I just remembered the secret door behind the wallpaper.
No, we've got to get to that. I already thought of that. Okay, so we walked up and the woman, the wife, made us ring the bell and wait for the husband to come out. She was just sat in the garden, but, So anyway, the man opened the door and the first thing he said to us was...
The first thing he said to us was, did we have the money?
Do we have the money?
And we were like...
He's like, you're not getting a bargain on this. Because it was in offers in the region of, but we were happy to pay the asking price, weren't we?
Of course, or around the asking price, because that's what it fucking says. We're not going to go in there and be like, we'll just lowball you. Do you know what I mean? So we weren't going to do that anyway. So we started off...
considering that we need to get out of this house.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty quickly.
I know. So he started off by lecturing us about money, which went on for some time. Anyway, he didn't even let us in the house at this point. We still stood on the fucking lawn.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even let us near. He was literally defending the house. He had this arm across the door.
Yeah, he did.
You shall not enter. which was so weird considering he apparently is supposed to be selling the house. Anyway, as it turns out, he's not. Because the next thing he told us was that he didn't want to sell the fucking house and he had no interest in selling the house. And anyway, the man at the back of the house is going to buy the house off him.
In 6 months?
In 6 months' time, when he gets the money together. And he told us that about 27 times.
Oh, he did.
I kept just bringing it up, being like, oh, well, the man at the back of our house is going to buy this house off us. And we're like, right. It was the weirdest thing, wasn't it? Walked in
immediately. I was like, right, well, this is a lot smaller than we thought, and it smelled fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it did, and it was dirty. It was small. It was much smaller than those photos. I was shocked.
Yeah, I was as well.
You know, when we walked into that first room, and bear in mind that I swear to God, the images made it look like, and we like
it made it look like some of the Scottish houses we'd It made it look like the fucking living rooms were like 25 feet, right? And we just couldn't get over how spacious this house was. Walked in and it was like because another house. Yeah, we both have big families. We both got,
and we've got the people boys, stay over and
I've got like 1,200 cousins. You've got like 1,200 brothers.
I'll ask my dad.
Fucking but like we wanted something where it could be a nice place for. That's what we saw in that house. It was very cheap thinking about it for what we thought it was.
Well, I know because I think that it was dated. So from the images, it just looked dated and that it needed work. But we were happy to do that because we both like renovation projects and we both like decorating and we both like design. So we're happy to do a renovation project. So we didn't care about the fact that it was dated as fuck and it had clearly not been decorated since the 60s. But we didn't care about that. So that was okay, right? What we weren't expecting was how small it was everywhere. Yeah. And then, anyway, so first of all, we were dealing with that. Then we noticed that the windows were just smashed in certain places.
Right. No. So I was like, God, that's weird. Why have they still got Christmas stickers up all over their windows? Turns out they were covering cracks and smashes in the windows.
Do you know something? I'm not going to lie. I thought that was dead clever. There was one point during that viewing where I'd seen probably the 7th smashed window covered by a fucking Christmas snowflake sticker. And I thought, that is genius.
But it's not.
Yes, it is. Because it was so hard to see the cracks through the snowflake.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't because the way the sun was shining. It was illuminating the cracks in the windows. And they were single pane windows as well. But anyway, before he even let us upstairs, he sat down at his kitchen table in his dining room, which, by the way, the ceiling, walls and floor were all painted red.
It was like, what a lovely room of death!
Right, and he shouted at us for 15-20 minutes about how we should ignore all the surveyor's reports.
He did.
He shouted at us.
Yeah, he did. He proper shouted and was like, do you know what? Surveyors, they're shit. They're full of shit. They just lie. That's what they do for a job. They just make my life hard. And then he was like, and they've said the boiler is of great concern. No, it's not. And I was like trying to be calm. I was like, sorry, what did you say? The surveyors have said that the gas in the boiler is like is of great concern. Yes. And I was like,
my mate did it. He's retired now. He did it a few years ago.
And so I was like trying to
we've got the certificates.
Yeah, and I was
I don't know where they are.
No, he actually said they've got no certificates in the end, didn't he? He started off by saying he had certificates.
He said he didn't know where they were.
I pushed him a little bit and was like, so you're saying that the boiler and the gas stuff is all safe then? Yes, it's completely safe. I was like, so you've had it all like checked and you've had certificates and everything done? No, it is safe though. I've been living here. And I was like, but the survey. I was like, when was this survey carried out? 6 months ago. I was like, so the survey 6 months ago has said that it's dangerous. Yes, but they lie about everything. And then he was going on about how they'd also said that the drainage for the property was damaged and that it needed full camera surveys in the drains under the property and the sewerage and under the property. Anyway, Jamie is absolutely right. I think we were there 15, nearly 20 minutes being yelled at. And he kept telling us to ignore the structural report, which also said that the property was dangerous and that the survey
it was damp.
Yeah, and
like, well, it might be a bit damp, but that's how they did it back then. Like, fucking hell.
Honestly, the whole time, so he mentioned that his missus was a therapist and a life coach, and I kept thinking, she's fucking outside because she can't deal with this shit. I swear to God, she must be outside having a break from that. But anyway, then we were thinking, this has to get better, and we were like, sorry, can we like look around the house? Because at this point,
didn't let us look in the kitchen.
Yeah, he didn't let us look in the kitchen, and he was like, right, let's go somewhere else. I was like, sorry, can we just look in the kitchen because we've not looked in there? He's like, oh, I thought you'd looked. I was like, what? While you were yelling at me about the survey? So I went and looked in the kitchen, which needed a lot of work, but it was big and like it could have been done up. And then he it was the way that he went, I don't know if you girls have actually done much buying and selling, but surveys are just bullshit. And I was thinking, okay, like that's very concerning. Red flag. And then we eventually convinced him to let us go upstairs to look at the rest of the house, and it just got progressively worse to the point where we got to a bathroom. And he was showing us around this bathroom. He's like, yeah, I did this bathroom up myself. And I was like, oh, okay. And I looked around it. On first glance, if you were not looking, you would just think to yourself, it's just a sort of a basic bathroom.
Yeah, you think, oh, somebody's designed that a bit shit.
Yeah, it is a bit shit. But, did you notice? Sorry, I haven't had a chance to ask this. Did you notice? Sorry, I'm not going to be able to say this without laughing. Did you notice there was a set of drawers in the bathroom that he'd stuck floor tiles to the top of it?
This wasn't floor tiles, it's lino.
Yeah, no, that's the irony. On the floor there was lino, but on the cupboards there was floor tiles.
Right, but also
I ran my fingers over it because I couldn't believe it was real.
No, but also he'd got a shower that didn't work very well, so he put an electric shower in it and couldn't be bothered to take the other shower out. He tried to say you get 2 showers for the price of one.
Anyway, I need to get this story in, right, because we're nearly at the end of the podcast. As he's walking off out of this bathroom, there's a bit of a flap of wallpaper that caught my eye, and I thought, that is abnormal. Why is that perfectly rectangle piece of wallpaper not attached to the wall? And it had a mirror hung over it as well, a big mirror. So Jamie was distracting him in another room, and I went and put my hand behind the wallpaper to see what it was. It were a fucking secret door. I was like, what the fuck?
And you were like, so excuse me, what's this here? Is this a door? And he went, that's my door. That's my door. Some people would think that's secret, but not you.
He was like, you're very observant. I thought, oh God, here we go. He's fucking stash of porn behind here.
And it was just this like weird fucking area. Honestly, it was like he was gonna fucking live in this gap between the wall and the bathroom.
If you can imagine this, next to the shower there was a big wall mirror. He pulled the wall mirror off, right? And then there was a piece of wallpaper, a big white piece of wallpaper. And then he put his like finger in a bit of it round the corner, and then he pulled it, and it was a full fucking door that he just sawed out and put some hinges into some MDF, and then he opened it, and the wallpaper was attached to it, and it was just into an edge of loft space with a ton of fiberglass insulation in it. And
I don't know what he wanted to do.
He was like, you can go in and have a look if you want. I was like, no, thank you.
I poked my head around, but I don't really understand. It's probably his like wanking chamber or something.
It was honestly like, and then we went down out into the garden, and it said on the description, double detached garage at the end of the garden, didn't it? And it had no pictures on the listing. Anyway, can I just give you some advice? That's a red fucking flag. If there's no fucking pictures of something to describe, it's bad.
It was this rotten wooden
shed that was leaning at about 30-degree angle. It was honestly and then these other viewers turned up, and we ended up in this little clan just sort of moving our way around the garden whilst this man
shouted at all 4 of us about how we should ignore the survey, the surveyor's report about this shed /garage.
This so-called double detached garage, which I swear to God me and Jamie could have just pushed over at any point. I'm not even joking. I swear I could have pushed that over.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't put I wouldn't put anything in that because it was so dangerous. So that's how it finished. And anyway, and that's the story of how I've had a headache for 4 fucking days.
So yeah, hopefully we will update you. We're going to see a gorgeous property tomorrow that we really hope we like. So wish us luck, and we'll let you get on with whatever you're doing. And hopefully you're having a drink with us, for us. Got your fingers crossed, honestly.
I know, please let us find a house. Will some of you, like, can someone just give us your house? That would be great.
Yeah. Right, okay.
We better go, haven't we?
Castro's wanting a cuddle.
I know, I noticed.
Bye, everyone.
Right. Bye.